Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Sila Biolabs. Today we will be discussing the physiology of dental scaling and calculus formation. Yes, why do we need scaling and how the calculus is formed? You know the yellow substance formed on your teeth when you don't brush for some time? Now, understanding the science of oral health. From plaque to calculus formation. First, the thing is formed is called the pellicle. It's a soft layer. We will be discussing each and everything in detail. Then the plaque is formed, and then the calculus is formed, and then the mature calculus. Okay? This is how the calculus is formed. The pellicle is a salivary proteins coat the tooth surface within the minutes. That is the pellicle. And mature plaque. What is the plaque? Bacteria adheres to the pellicle. The bacteria in your mouth adheres to your pellicle, multiply and form a biofilm that is called plaque. Calculus. Minerals in the saliva or gingival clavicular fluid precipitate into the plaque. That is the calculus formation. And then, how the mature calculus is formed. Calculus hardens, becomes porous and promotes further plaque retention. That is how the mature calculus is formed. Today, we are diving deep into the topic that is critical to a tooth, both daily oral hygiene and clinical periodontology, the physiology of dental scaling and calculus formation. Whether you are a patient wondering why a hygienist scrapes off your teeth or a medical student looking to master the biochemistry of biomineralization and periodontal disease, this comprehensive lecture is designed just for you. Let's break down the science of a healthy smile. Understanding the why. Value the care. Keep smiling. Dr. Sila Biolabs. This will be our lecture. And healthy gums doesn't just happen. They are engineered through science, care, and consistency. In today's lecture, Mastering the Physiology of Dental Scaling and Periodontal Diseases, diving deep into the biochemistry of biomineralization and calculus formation, and a comprehensive lecture designed for students and patients seeking the clear science. Here at Dr. Sila Biolabs, our mission is to empower medical education and simplify complex oral biology. In today's video, we are going to explore dental scaling, why it is necessary, how simply plaque transforms into calculus, the biochemical triggers of bad breath, what physiology happens during the healing phase after a deep clean. We will also address some common patient anxieties such as temporary sensitivity and why teeth can sometimes feel slightly lighter, looser right after scaling. So let's get started. So actually what dental scaling is? Scientifically, dental scaling is a non-surgical periodontal procedure. It involves meticulous mechanical removal of plaque, bacterial biofilm, toxins, and hard calcified minerals deposit from both supragingival, which means above the gum line, and subgingival, below the gum line. Two surfaces, supragingival and subgingival, above the gum line and below the gum line. You can see supragingival above the gum line, the calculus is formed. And below gingival line, that is subgingival, below the gum line. Okay? Beneath the roots. Not beneath, just below the gum line. Okay? Dental scaling is a precise non-surgical therapy that removes the plaque and calculus from above and below the gum line to restore the oral health and promotes the natural healing. Now, what is a clinical objective? The ultimate clinical objective here is to eliminate the local irritants, restoring a biologically clean, smooth root and enamel surface so that your gums can naturally reattach and heal. You can see before scaling, the gums swollen, the calculus is here, and after scaling, you can see clean tooth surface, healthy gums, reduced inflammation, support and reattachment of the gums. Before scaling, what it was? Plaque, tartar, calculus, bacterial toxins and inflamed gums. You can see. Okay. So scaling is just a non-surgical procedure, mechanical removing of the plaque, bacterial biofilm and hard calcified mineral deposited supragingival and subgingival. Okay. Clinical objective was restoring a biological clean smooth root and enamel surface, enabling the natural gum reattachment and healing. Now, why do we need scaling? Why do we need scaling? Home care has its limits. Toothbrush and floss are excellent at disrupting soft and uncalcified biofilm. Mineral fusion occurs if plaque is left undisturbed. This plaque, if left undisturbed for some time or a short period, it begins to bind with calcium and phosphate minerals that present in your saliva. Bone defense is compromised. Once this chemical fusion occurs, the plaque hardens into the calculus. Brushing will no longer remove it. If left untreated, the calculus is physical shield for active bacteria which secrete toxins that slowly destroy the surrounding periodontal ligament and alveolar bone. These toxins, what does they do? They secrete toxin. These bacteria secrete toxin which slowly destroy the periodontal ligaments and alveolar bone. I will be showing you some differences between plaque vs calculus, the transitions of the plaque to calculus formation. Now plaque, you can see it's a soft, sticky and colorless, pale yellow, non-calcified, amorphous biofilm. This is the plaque. By the probe I will be showing you, this is the plaque. And calculus, it's hard rock surface, yellow to brown calcified mineral deposits. Okay, this is calculus. Now composition. 80% of we are discussing the discussion of plaque first. Okay, composition of the plaque. 80% of the organic salivary glycoproteins, mucins and lipids, and 20% of inorganic contains living bacteria and byproducts, while the calculus is 80 to 90% of the calcium phosphate crystals, hydroxyapatite, octocalcium phosphate, and 10 to 20% of minimal or no living bacteria. Plaque, it can be easily removed at home from toothbrushes and dental flosses, but calculus, it cannot be removed at home, requires professional removing uses ultrasonic scalers or hand curates. Health threat, plaque, it can lead to gingivitis, cause mild reversible inflammation, redness, swelling and bleeding. Okay. It will trigger gingivitis, reversible inflammation, redness, swelling and bleeding. But calculus, it causes periodontitis, leads to chronic inflammation and pocket formation and permanent bone loss. You can see what calculus is doing. What calculus is doing? Chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation, periodontal pockets, and destruction of the bone. That's what calculus is doing. So plaque is the cause, calculus is the consequence. Remove the cause early to prevent the irreversible damage. Plaque, gingivitis, calculus, and then periodontitis. That is irreversible. So professional care makes the difference. Okay, so what plaque to calculus? As we discussed, plaque, soft, sticky. Calculus, rocky, hard. Plaque has salivary proteins and living bacteria, while the calculus, calcium phosphate crystals. Okay, plaque can be removed by brushing and flossing, and calculus, it can be removed by scalers and curates. Plaque, mild reversible inflammation, and calculus, permanent irreversible bone loss, periodontitis. Now let me describe the main culprit, dental calculus, in detail. Think of a calculus as a fossilized plaque. When a soft biofilm is left undisturbed along the gum line, it acts as a scaffolding matrix. Over time, minerals, salt precipitate into this matrix. Although the calcified core of the calculus consists of largely fossilized bacterial cells, its outer is extremely rough and porous. Calculus is bacterial reservoir. This is rough porous that makes calculus the perfect harbor of a new life, highly pathogenic colonies to attach, multiply, and constantly secrete destructive toxin directly into the gum tissues. Bacteria attach to the rough surface, bacteria multiply and form colonies, bacteria release toxins. Now, toxins penetrates gum tissues and causes destruction. See the pathogenic reservoir, dental calculus. Now, fossilized biofilm, calcified forming a dense matrix, rough porous surface, you can see, not solid, extremely irregular topography. Bacteria harbor the perfect safe house for pathogenic colonies to attach and multiply. Bacteria constantly secrete toxins into the gum tissue. Outer porous matrix, you can see. These are the bacteria secreting continuous toxins to your gum tissues. Pathogenesis step by step. First, the pellicle is formed. Within minutes of brushing, an acellular protective film of salivary glycoproteins, the acquired pellicle coats the enamel. Within minutes. Then, biofilm, that is plaque. Bacterial colonization within 24 hours. Primary bacterial colonizes, adheres to the pellicle and multiply to create a dense biofilm. Then mineralization of the calcium phosphate begins. Calcium and phosphate ions from the saliva start to precipitate into the matrix. Then fossilization of the plaque, maturation of the calculus by the day 12. Fossilization, maturation of the calculus by the day 12. The deposit matures into the fossilized, rock-hard crystalline structure that is permanently locked onto the tooth surface. Calculus provides a retentive surface for more plaque formation, protects bacteria from the host defenses, and contributes to gingival inflammation and periodontal disease. So remove early, prevent damage, and preserve your health. Phase 1, acquired pellicle, salivary glycoproteins. Phase 2, Plaque biofilm within 24 hours. Phase 3, mineralization begins. And phase 4, fossilized maturity by the day 12. Okay, leading to the calculus. Acquired pellicle, salivary glycoproteins, primary bacterial colonizes adheres. In phase 2, phase 3, calcium and phosphate mineralization centers and mature fossilized structure rock hard locked to the tooth. Okay, the role of saliva in calcification. A fascinating physiological paradox lies in the role of our saliva. Saliva is biologically supersaturated with calcium and phosphate ions. Under normal conditions, this is wonderful protective mechanism. It continuously remineralizes and repairs our tooth, protecting us from decay. However, if the plaque biofilm is present, this plaque biofilm is present there, saliva act as double-edged sword near salivary gland ducts, like those under your tongue, behind your lower teeth. Local pH changes triggers the spontaneous precipitation of the rich minerals directly into the soft plaque, cementing it into a hard tartar. What is the composition of dental calculus? 90% of mineral origin. Dental calculus is approximately 90% minerals by weight. That is calcium 65 to 75, phosphate 15 to 20%, carbonated magnesium 5 to 10%. The majority comes from your saliva, where calcification begins. Now, I've told you the salivary gland ducts of water, open under the tongue behind the lower front teeth, delivering saliva rich in minerals. pH changes, local pH increases, becomes more alkaline around the plaque, promoting mineral precipitation. Mineral precipitation, calcium and phosphate ion precipitates into the plaque biofilm, hardening it into a dental calculus, that is a tartar. Understanding through the diagram, I am showing you the diagram also. Saliva is basically biologically supersaturated with calcium and phosphate ions, essentially for enamel remineralization, good and good of course, and spontaneous plaque formation, plaque calcification, that is bad. Saliva, openings of some gingival gland duct, soft plaque is formed, and then mineral precipitation hardened to the plaque tartar. Now, why the calculus is so hard? The biological concrete analogy. Civil engineering concrete, aggregate, cement, binding result, right? This is the concrete civil engineering. Actually, calculus is just not a hardened plaque. It is mineralized, fossilized mass where organic and inorganic components are interlocked just like a concrete. I told you in the calculus what it is: biological aggregate, bacterial cell, extracellular polymeric substances, and debris provide the organic framework. Mineral cement, precipitated calcium phosphate, salt, and hydroxyapatite octocalcium phosphate. Binding result, a dense crystalline mass that is highly mineralized, irreversible, and extremely resistant to removal. Okay, why the plaque? Why the calculus? It cannot be just removed from the brush. The mineral crystals penetrate and lock into the microscopic pits and irregularities of enamel and cementum, creating a mechanical interlock. This cannot be removed or rinsed away by brushing or through mouthwashes or through floss. A floss removes the plaque between the teeth. A calculus is fused to the surface. Through the mouthwashes, chemical, it cannot be removed. Just toothbrushes are too soft. So once the calculus is formed, it requires professional mechanical removal with ultrasonic scalers and hand instruments designed to break the mineral aggregate bond. Professional removal is essential because biology built it strong and only science can remove it. To look at its biology chemical perspective, the inorganic mineral content of calculus shifts through different crystalline phases at its ages. Yes, it is also different crystallines, like a mature calculus, hydroxyapatite, young calculus, brushite, and subgingival calculus is called widlockite. Common in subgingival pockets, magnesium containing calcium phosphate. Okay, first the mature is hydroxyapatite, crystalline phase, calcium phosphate hydroxide. Second, the soft or young calculus is called the brushite, dicalcium phosphate dihydride, and the subgingival is called widlockite. Here is a chemical, you can see ionic. I can show you calcium phosphate and hydroxides. This is the brushite and this is the widlockite subgingival. Why it matters now? These different crystalline phases reflect the age, environment and location of the calculus. Understanding them help the clinician evaluate the age and density of the patient's deposit and plan the appropriate treatment. Young brushite maturing transition to the mature hydroxyapatite. If it is subgingival, it's widlockite. Young calculus, brushite. Then hydroxyapatite, mature calculus. Then the subgingival into the pockets, periodontal pockets, is widlockite. Mineral transformation over the time, plaque, young calculus, mature and deep calculus. So clinicians evaluate the calculus age density using these phases to guide the periodontal treatment. The pathological symptoms: bad breath, tooth destruction, and permanent jawbone loss. Bad breath, tooth tissue destruction, and then permanent jawbone loss. Now that we understand that calculus is chemically and biologically, let's explore the destructive pathology. How exactly does this calcified rock trigger severe bad breath, tissue destruction, and permanent bone loss? How does this do? Okay? First, coming to why calculus caused the bad breath. The mechanism of halitosis, bad breath. Anaerobic bacteria, lack of airflow, deep deoxygenated shelters, breeds destructive anaerobes. Lack of airflow. It's going in the periodontal pockets, you can see. Then, debris trapping, biological sponge, it acts like a sponge, collecting all the rough, porous surface, traps food and dead cells. Okay, it collects the food, traps foods and dead cells. Then the toxin secretion, that is the foul smelling that comes from your mouth. Toxic waste, anaerobic bacteria, trap debris. Bacteria ferment the trap debris, release toxins. That leads to bad breath. See, low oxygen environment, anaerobic pockets. Calculus creates deep physical shelters under the gum line. Because oxygen cannot easily reach there, it creates perfect breathing ground for highly destructive oxygen-hating anaerobic bacteria. Then you can see debris trapping, food particles, dead cells. The rough porous surface, it acts like a sponge, trapping the food debris and dead cells which decompose. Then coming to the toxin secretions. These anaerobic bacteria feed on this trapped debris. They continuously ferment nutrients and release foul-smelling toxic waste directly into their mouth. So, the combination of anaerobic bacteria decomposing debris and toxic secretion creates a persistent source of foul odors. That is chronic bad breath. The biochemistry of halitosis. Let's look at the organic chemistry behind the bad smell or behind this odor. The offensive smell of halitosis caused by volatile sulfur compounds. These gases are produced when anaerobic bacteria break down the amino acids. Hydrogen sulfide, methylcaptan. Now, hydrogen sulfide smells like a rotten egg. When it comes to methylcaptan, pungent odor of just like a rotten cabbage. Oh, yuck. And then the dimethyl sulfate adds as a sweet, heavy, musty undertone that leads to bad breath. This is mechanically the calculus that has to scale away, eliminating the anaerobic harbors where these bacteria live. So the only way to permanently cure this type of bad breath is to mechanically scale away the calculus, eliminating the anaerobic bacteria, their harbors where they are bacterial life. Volatile sulfur compounds, the primary cause of halitosis, thrive into the deep pockets, these bacteria. Okay, two locations of the two distinct hazards. That is, I told you previously also, the supragingival calculus and the subgingival calculus. Okay, the supragingival calculus above the gum line. You can see above the tooth. You can see it highly visible. Color texture yellow, white, chalky, mineralization source, saliva, and hazard, aesthetic, and hygiene challenge. When it comes to subgingival, okay, deep within the periodontal pockets, brown or green color, mineralization source, serum from the bleeding gums. Primary driver of chronic bone destruction. Again, giving you a rough summary. This is above the gum line, yellow, white, from the saliva, highly visible, represents aesthetic and hygienic challenge. And subgingival, you can see, brown, green, or black, mineralized serum, blood-driven proteins. Location forms deep within the periodontal pockets, primary driver of chronic bone destruction. While both are harmful, subgingival calculus is the most destructive threat to your oral and systemic health. Coming to the danger of the gum recession, as the subgingival calculus accumulates, it creates physical and biological hazard. Because the calculus is covered in active toxic bacteria, your body's immune system recognizes a massive chronic infection. In an effort to retreat and protect itself from these bacterial toxins, your delicate gum tissue and the underlying jaw bone begins to pull away. This localized retreat is what we clinically call the gum recession, leaving the sensitive root surface of your tooth exposed. Gum recession is not just a cosmetic issue. It is a clear sign of chronic infection and beginning of the irreversible damage. Toxic bacteria. Calculus is a reservoir for harmful anaerobic bacteria. Immune response, the body recognizes as chronic infection. Tissue retreat, gum tissue pulls away from the tooth, escape from the bacterial assault. Root exposure, recession exposes the sensitive root surfaces leading to pain and bone loss over time. The underlying jaw bone is already resolved. Massive chronic infection, bacterial toxins, immune response, localized retreat, and exposed root surfaces. Fine. As the subgingival calculus accumulates, it creates severe physical and biological hazard. Because the calculus is covered, in active toxic bacteria, your body immune system recognizes a massive chronic infection. As I told you, in an effort to retreat the protect itself from the bacterial toxins, your delicate gum line and tissue, what does they do? They pull it themselves away from the jawbone. This localized retreat is what they clinically call the gum recession, leaving the root surfaces of your teeth exposed. This bridge illusion. This is a massive continuous calculus block, not supporting a tooth structure, of course. A solid temporary wall of mineralized gluing teeth in an unhealthy position. Silent bone destruction deep beneath the bridge is the chronic infection actively dissolving your jawbone. As a jawbone density melts away, the calculus bridge acts as a visual shield, hiding the extent of damage. Splinting teeth, this rigid artificial cement provides a false sense of stability. The patient perceives strength while in reality the underlying support is compromised and the teeth are held by the disease itself. Now what is the scaling? The scaling procedure. Demystifying professional cleaning, temporary sensitivity, exposed dentine can react to temperature and pressure during healing, temporary mobility, teeth adjust to the removal of the rigid stabilizing disease, splint as a support structure. Okay, now let us demystify the actual dental scaling procedure. What's happening during the professional clean and why do patients experience temporary sensitivity and mobility afterwards? First, we do the exam and assessment. We examine your gums, measure the pockets, and take x-rays. Then the ultrasonic scalers we used, or hand instruments, carefully to remove the plaque above and below the gum line. Smoothing the surface of very smooth the root surfaces helps the gum to reattach to make it harder for bacteria and stick in the future. Polishing and rinsing. We rinse thoroughly and polish your teeth to remove surface stains and leave your mouth feeling clean. Post-op, we provide personalized care instructions to support healing and reduce sensitivity. Healing begins, gums start to heal, inflammation decreases, and your foundation becomes stronger over time. When calculus is removed, teeth may feel sensitive to hot and cold pressure. They also may feel slightly loose. This is temporary and normal. It's a sign that infection and artificial splint are gone and your mouth is beginning to heal. Recovery is a part of the process. Sensitivity typically improves within 1 to 4 weeks. Mobility improves over several to months as the gum and bone heal and re-stabilize your teeth naturally. So clean today, heal tomorrow, stronger smile for your life. How scaling is performed: ultrasonic and hand scaling methods. Ultrasonic scalers, high frequency, micro vibration, gently shatters the mineralized calculus without scratching enamel. Water lavage spray we use, in scaler water is coming continuously, cools instrument tip, flushes the pathogens, blood and tartar from the pockets. Specialized hand instrument. Fine hand finishing smoothens they smooth the root surfaces, leaving them clean and resistant to the plaque. Use ultrasonic scalers, water lavage spray, and hand scaling. The goal of scaling is not just to remove what's visible, but it's to clean where the disease hides. Removes infection source, preserve bone, and gum health protects your natural teeth. Okay, patient comes to us. They say, the common complaint is, my teeth were not sensitive before you cleaned them, but now they are. Now, let's explain the physiology behind this. It was covered with a hard calculus. Before scaling, it was covered with a hard calculus. It's blanket that isolates the root. Think of a calculus as a dirty insulated blanket. When we remove this cold, hot and cold blocking minerals shield, the underlying roots are suddenly exposed to the oral environment. After scaling, root surfaces are now exposed. Exposed dentine tubules and nerves. But don't worry, it will heal with time. This exposes thousands of microscopic channels called dentinal tubules, which leads directly to the tooth nerve. Sudden exposure, temporary sensitivity to hot, cold, or air. As your mouth continues to oral heal, when they start healing, the sensitivity will improve and eventually disappear. Resolving gums. Because of the calculus, the gums were so much inflamed, swelling gum line over the tooth neck, and the healing occurs after scaling. Gum shrinks to a healthy level, exposing to the tooth neck. Most patients improve within 1 to 4 weeks using desensitizing toothpaste and proper home care. It can speed up the process. See how sensitivity to triggers? Okay, sorry for the interruption. Exposure of the dentinal tubules, dirty insulated blanket, and sensitivity triggers. When we remove this calculus, what happens? This whole area is exposed, leading to sensitivity. Resolving gums, swollen gums, and then the healthy gums. As gum heal, they shrink to their healthy size, exposing to the tooth neck. So post-sensitivity is normal, is temporary sign of healing. Now some patient came and say that our teeth feel loose after scaling. See this. This is the calculus bridge. A sudden alarming sensation of slight tooth movement after treatment. Unmasking the damage. We remove this bridge. That is joint. This is joint from here. It is joint from here. And it's causing the gum recession. When we remove it, the teeth slightly feel mobile. The clear part for gums and remaining ligament to tighten and heal around the roots. It takes some time. When we remove the rigid calculus, it reveals the underlying bone loss from the prior infection. And the clear part for gums and remaining ligament. It takes time to heal. So removing calculus reveals the damage. Healing tightens the gums. See, before scaling, calculus bridge hides bone loss and splints the teeth together. After scaling, calculus is removed, severe bone loss is revealed. Teeth may feel looser. It unmasks bone loss caused by infection. The calculus bridge was artificially holding the teeth together is gone. Healing takes time, but it's happening. So after scaling, your mouth needs time to adjust. It can feel strange when thick teeth are suddenly gone and your teeth are no longer tightly splinted together. Scaling removes the calculus and biofilm, revealing the true level of the bone loss that the infection caused over time. Feel slightly mobile teeth temporarily. Gingival reattachment. Now that physical barrier of tartar is removed, the biological path is clearly for your gums and remaining ligaments to tighten and heal around the tooth. Mobility improves as a healing progress. With good home care and regular maintenance, your gum line stabilizes and comfort returns. Clean today, heal tomorrow. Stronger foundation for your life. So healing is happening every day. Clean today, healthy tomorrow. With good home care and regular visits, your gum will continue to heal and stay healthy. Thank you for taking the first step towards a healthier smile. Bacterial toxins are gone. Gums are healthy and strengthened, strong, healthy, and protective. While destroyed bone cannot spontaneously grow back, your healthy, tightened, infection-free gums will provide a firm, strong, and protective seal around your teeth. Healthier gums don't bleed, less sensitivity, and stronger protection for time. A cleaner, fresher, more confident smile. The gums will heal, don't worry. Your body immediate healing response. Bacterial toxins are gone, resolving inflammation, protective seal. Your tightened infection-free gums provide a firm, strong, and protective seal around your teeth. The long epithelial junction forming a tight hug again. Swelling and bleeding, healthy tissue, firm attachment, immunized protective zone. Okay, what if we don't remove this calculus? We don't remove this calculus. The alternative chronic unchecked destruction. What if we don't do scaling? What will happen? To emphasize the importance of this treatment, let's examine the alternative. What happens if the patient refuses scaling and allows this calculus to build up indefinitely? Irreversible damage. Now, calculus keeps binding, building hard deposit, thickening and spreading below the gum lines. Infection continues, bone loss progresses, and then the teeth loosen and fail. So scaling stops the cycle and healing starts. The downward spiral of neglect. Gingivitis, it starts from gingivitis where bacteria causes reversible gum swelling and bleeding. Reversible, early treatable, and damage can be reversed. Periodontitis. If left unscaled, it will progress to periodontitis. The infection moves below the gum line, forming the deep oxygen depleted pockets. Below the gum line, the body cannot naturally clean these pockets. Bone loss. This triggers chronic local inflammation leading to bone loss as the jaw bone dissolves to escape the bacteria. Permanent damage, the supporting bone loss is destroyed and cannot be grown back. Tooth loss. Ultimately, this leads to the third tooth loss, where the tooth loses its foundation entirely. It falls off or must be extracted. So don't wait, don't ignore the signs, break the cycle now. Professional scaling removes the infection, stops the progression, and saves your teeth. Healthy gums, strong foundation, lasting your smile. Through diagram I will show you gingivitis, then periodontitis, bone loss, and then tooth loss. From inflammation to tooth loss, break the spiral. You have to break the spiral of neglection. Severe infection and abscess, a silent infection, a serious threat. As subgingival calculus travels deeper, it seals off the periodontal pocket, turning it into a highly pressurized anaerobic bioreactor. Seal pocket, anaerobic bioreservoir. Deep pockets, pus formation, abscess. Bacteria hide deep below the gum line before you can reach them. Through brushing, pus formation with white blood cells resulting in the pus pungent discharge. Abscess, if drainage is blocked, a thrombing pain periodontal abscess forms. Okay, the risk of delay, severe pain, thrombing, constant, deep and often unbearable. Facial swelling, infection can spread causing visible swelling, fever and systemic distress and bone destruction of course. The silent infection continues to dissolve the supporting bone. So delaying the scaling out of fear of the losing teeth only allows the silent infection to dissolve your bone. So professional scaling stop the infection, save your teeth and protect your health. So 80% of the bone loss potential, irreversible process. severe disease, and root exposure. Okay, alveolar bone loss and the tissue destruction. Healthy teeth, healthy gums, and full alveolar bone support. Gingivitis, inflammation continue to the gums. Early periodontitis, below the gum line. Bone loss begins. Moderate bone loss, continued infection destroy the bone, deepening the pockets. Severe bone loss, extensive bone loss, destruction, teeth become unstable and then it falls off. What does 80% of the bone look like? Teeth lose their foundation, chewing becomes difficult, teeth become loose and shift, greater risk of tooth loss and infection. You can see it through this. This is the healthy foundation, is standing straight. Severe bone loss, it's trembling in the mud, just like trembling in your mouth. For medical and dental students, bone loss is largely irreversible process, while gum tissue can heal and reattach. Once the alveolar jawbone is destroyed by the chronic periodontitis, it is good for good. Severe untreated periodontal disease can destroy up to 80% of the bone loss and the tissue structure. Regular scaling is the only way to stop this destruction in its tracks. So don't wait for the bone loss, prevent it, protect your teeth, protect your health. Early intervention today is a stronger smile tomorrow. So this periodontal disease is not just an oral issue. It affects your overall health of the body. Cardiovascular disease, bacteria and inflammatory cytokines from the gum infection increases systemic inflammation. Cytokines to arterial plaque formation increases the risk of heart diseases and heart attacks linked to strokes and vascular events. Diabetes control. Chronic gum infection worsens the insulin resistance, making blood sugar incredibly difficult to control. Poor glycemic control, increased risk of diseases. Respiratory health. Inhaling the oral pathogens can lead to bacterial pneumonia, especially in elderly or medical compromise. So your oral health is connected to your overall health. Healthy gums, healthy body, healthier life. Regular scaling and periodontal care protects more than just your smile. It protects your smile. Don't ignore your gums. Treat periodontal disease. Protect your teeth. Preventing the calculus formation, brush twice a day. Floss. Use alcohol-free antibacterial mouthwashes. Brush, floss, rinse, professional care. So daily care plus professional care, a lifetime of healthy teeth and gums. So our educational mission outreach, expand access to dental health globally, mentor of the future of the dental researchers, engage in the community, get involved with Dr. Sila Biolabs, join our network. Our mission is empowering the minds, improving lives. Dr. Sila Biolabs is dedicated to advancing global oral health through science, education, and community engagement. So join our mission. Let's share, inspire. Together we can build a healthier world, one smile at a time. Stay connected. Knowledge today, healthier tomorrow. So our dual video mission was for patients worldwide, demystifying the oral care of oral biology, breaking down the complex dental pathogens into clear, practical concepts that help you control your health. For medical and dental students, provide high shield, scientifically accurate and visually engaging study aids to help ace your boards, excel in your clinical rotations, and master your periodontal sciences. Our mission, demystifying the oral care, understand your oral health, practical tips, prevent, and for medical students, high yield content, scientifically accurate, visually engaging. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and stay informed. Stay healthy. Together, we build a healthier world. Dr. Salah Biolabs, where science meets education and compassion. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us today in the clinical lecture. If you found this helpful, explanatory, please hit the subscribe button to join the Dr. Salah Biolabs community. We are here to help your master medical sciences. Subscribe, join the community. If you are a patient with questions about your teeth or a medical student looking for an academic guidance, please leave your questions in the comments below. I will read it and answer them personally. Dr. Salah, dedicated to advancing health and education. Stay connected. Until the next time, stay curious, keep learning, and take care of your smile. Giving you the image resources. Now subscribe and join the community, Dr. Salah Biolabs. Thank you all. I will join you soon in the next lecture. What lecture you want it to be, you can comment me that too. Okay? Thank you, Dr. Salah Biolabs. Subscribe now.